Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Elaine, and today we're going to do a yin practice focusing on our digestive health, which will include quite a few side stretches and twists. So what you'll need is a nice soft blanket, maybe a block or two, and then perhaps if you're lucky, a bolster. That would be nice as well. So we're going to start in a seated position. So sitting up on something that will allow your hips to be above your knees, and then finding a nice, tall, dignified posture. Just taking a moment to arrive in this space. You may wish to close your eyes softly or just gaze down at the ground in front of you. I'd like you to bring your hands to your belly in Yoni mudra, so thumbs together, index fingers together, and just allow your hands to rest, thumbs near the navel and fingers pointing down toward the pubic bone. Just beginning to bring your attention from the outside world of doing and seeing to the inside world of being and sensing. As we move from yang to yin, to bring that balance to our nervous system, to our lives in general. And just notice what the weather is like inside your body and mind right now. Maybe deciding to follow your breath as it enters your nose, sensing the temperature as you feel that swirl of air gently flow down the throat into the lungs, and then noticing any sensation in the body as the breath arrives and leaves. Perhaps sensing the warmth of your hands on your belly, knowing that a healthy digestion is so important for our overall health and well-being. The nutrients that we take in are the fuel that keeps this vehicle that we use to experience this life healthy and well. And when we take in and are able to absorb the nutrients from our food and release the things our body no longer needs, then our digestive system can maintain good health. So now just starting, maybe keeping your eyes still closed, to move your hands in nice big sweeping circles. And I'd like you to travel up the right side, across the top, and down the left side and along the bottom. So we're encouraging this natural movement of the large intestine, the colon, ascending up the right side, transverse, and then descending colon, encouraging the natural flow of waste materials out of the body. This is very good if you have any constipation or issues with releasing from the bowel. But if you happen to have diarrhea or looseness in your stools, then going the other way, sort of reversing and slowing down that process of elimination. So just doing what is needed for you and your colon's health at the moment. Good. Okay, so having brought lots of attention and stimulation and warmth to this area, let's start to move into it. So we're going to come off our blocks. I'm going to start with deer pose. So you're going to place your right leg in front and your left knee to your foot. We're going to start by placing our hand on our hip. We're just going to rotate a couple of times to the right. So as you lift, you twist and lift the left butt cheek off the floor, beginning that nice rotation. And then we're going to move the hand to the right shoulder, keeping the elbow level. And this will help us get a little deeper into a twist in the upper body. Moving a little bit more into the stomach area. Good. And then finally, we're going to keep our position here. We're going to come to lie down. So the bolster, if you have one, will be resting right at your hip and going up the long side of your mat. So you just start to turn and then allow your body to gently rest on it. Now, how high it is or low it is will have to be felt by you. If you wish to turn your head away from me and complete the twist of your body, you can, or you can keep your head facing forward. Just see what would serve you better today. Again, if you don't have a bolster, you can use a block to rest on, or a blanket, a towel rolled up, whatever is going to be available for you. I want you to start to notice the gentle pulling of that side waist as you lean forward. And then start to maybe bring the breath into that place where you feel the stretch the most. If the stretch is too much, move your blanket or bolster towards the front of your mat. And if you're not feeling much, imagining the front of your mat is 12 o'clock, move the bolster towards 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock, and that will give you more rotation. As you lie here, feeling that part of your belly and torso is resting on the support, and maybe part of it is not. And noticing how easy it is or not to breathe in this pose. Relaxing what doesn't need to do anything, the face, the arms, the legs, and maybe bringing your attention to the place where you're feeling the edge in this pose. In yoga, all about finding our edges, accepting them, and then staying with them and sending breath and attention and awareness to them as we watch them begin to dissipate and dissolve and change, just like peeling an onion. When you remove one layer, there's another layer below. Coming into our last minute, we're holding our poses for 3 minutes today, just so you are aware. Really surrendering the weight of your body into the earth and the support beneath you. Taking your last 2 breaths. And then starting to slowly bring yourself back up off your bolster, taking your time. And then bringing that back leg in front of you and just bringing your feet to touch. So we've got a nice sort of square or diamond shape between our legs. This is called square pose for a good reason. If you feel like this is a little hard on your buttocks, then by all means take a blanket and place it underneath your buttocks. It will also give you a little bit more height. That feels nice. And then just allowing the knees to be heavy. You can always put blocks underneath them to support them. There's so many different ways to do these poses. There we go, that feels nice. And then just start to drop the chin to the chest. And then slowly rolling down each vertebrae at a time as you lower yourself towards your feet. And once you arrive in the place where your spine says, okay, that is enough, then you can use whatever you have to help prop you. So it might be a bolster like this, and you can just rest your head on it like that. It might be that you have a block that allows your head to rest. Some of you may like to just have the head hang. Options for the arms are to bring the hands underneath the shins and hold the edges of the feet, or to keep the hands on top and rest on the top of the feet. So feeling into this pose and noticing what is here for you in terms of stretch, tension, release. Just really being curious to know what side of the body is feeling the most. We don't treat the body the same from the left to the right, and we can take an opportunity to notice those differences as we stay very still and aware of what's happening on the inside. And this pose is really beneficial for beginning to bring some squeezing, folding action to the digestive system, which is why it's important that the belly is not full and that it's empty when we do this practice. And you soften your jaw and just allow the lips to relax. Feel the body relaxing more as you take your last couple of breaths here. Lovely stretch down the back. And slowly releasing the hands, taking your time to slowly come on up to sit. Good. And then just holding on to the knees. You're just doing a couple of nice releases as you pull on the knees and round your back, and then bend the elbows and come forward. Just bringing a little wave-like motion into your spine. Okay, we're going to go to deer on the other side. So bringing that left shin parallel to the side of your mat and bringing the right foot knee to the left foot. And then preparing whatever you need on your left side. So if it's your bolster or your blanket, just having it ready for you to turn onto. And then placing your hand on your right thigh, left hand behind you. Start to lift the right butt cheek and rotate. Just getting those neural connections so that the brain knows what's going to happen. So the body is prepared. It's like doing a warm-up before you do a run or do an exercise. The body's less likely to hurt itself because it's been prepared in advance. Now bringing your right hand to your left shoulder and moving a little deeper into the twist as you slowly move around with your breath. And then gazing out over your back shoulder, begin to bring yourself down to rest on your support. And as you come down, deciding where to put your head, either back or forward. Some people think this pose is very restorative, and I guess in some ways it is, but you really need to feel that twist and stretch. So if you're not feeling a good edge, then start to move that bolster back further until you do feel that edge. I'm literally staring at my Buddha now, which is a nice thing. And then try to focus your breath into the place where there's the most space to breathe. Again, part of your body might be resting on something and the other part of your belly will be free. So maybe you breathe into there, which is the side that's being stretched. And as we reach the halfway point, just seeing if you can relax a little bit more, maybe just 10% more, relaxing, checking, scanning the body from the face, relaxing the tongue, the jaw, shoulders, feeling down your back all the way to the sensation of your foot resting on your knee, the weight of your hip into the ground. And just letting the earth hold you as you completely relax the body into this twist. Just take 3 more breaths. Let it out through the mouth or the nose, whatever feels best. Sometimes sighing sounds on the out-breath can be very soothing for the nervous system. And on your next in-breath, slowly, really come out of the pose slowly, because when the body rests for a long time in one place, it can get a little bit stiff. Good, so then bringing the legs in front of you. There we go, good. And then just maybe doing a little windshield wiper from side to side, just to feel some freedom in the hips. And we're going to go into a lateral side stretch. So we're going to take the right leg out to the front corner of the mat and bring the left heel into the groin. So we're sitting up, and again, if you feel like you're leaning back, then just sitting on a blanket can help elevate your buttocks up so you feel a little bit taller. Good. And from here, having something ready on the side of your extended leg, either a block or a bolster, something that you're going to be able to perhaps rest on. And then taking your hands gently behind your head. Again, starting that warm up to prepare the body for the stretch. Now perhaps you're feeling the stretch in the inner thigh of that extended leg. That's completely normal. And then maybe down the left side as well. And when you feel like you've done enough trial runs, come into the place to rest. And I encourage you to make a little pillow. So it might be with a block on your leg to rest your head. This arm may wish to rest on the back here and just be very relaxed down there. Or you may wish to bring it up over the back of your head and hang it like this. Just deciding where you're going to keep your arms in a place that supports this stretch. And then maybe softening through your face as you let the weight of your head rest into your hand. So this pose is side butterfly, and we're going into a very deep lateral stretch for the spine. This pose also really beneficial for our kidney health and our adrenal glands that sit like 2 little hats on top of our kidneys, either side of our spine, just above our pelvic bones. So I like to imagine that I'm blowing breath into my side body, like I'm kind of blowing up a tire, bringing more space. And then as I exhale, just feeling myself become heavy. Whatever visual helps you to begin to bring more attention and awareness to the side body. Some of you will want to extend the arm out towards the foot and just hang, and that's perfectly fine too. Just deciding what is right for you on this side. We come to the halfway point now. Just settle in to wherever the body has gone today, accepting yourself just as you are. Being with whatever sensations present themselves to you and any emotions that arrive. Sometimes the mind can take us on interesting journees. And yin yoga is an opportunity because it's a mindfulness practice, to just observe. Where does the mind wander to when the body is not moving? Bringing a playful curiosity to the thoughts, rather than going on an expedition with them, because one thought leads to another thought and takes you somewhere very far from this moment. And this practice is about staying right here. Take a final breath. And then we're just going to sweep ourselves around. We're just going to lean forward over that bent leg. So again, maybe bringing something to rest the head on. We're just going to do a transition here for 5 breaths. So just feeling in. There was a little click in my ankle as I did that. That's really interesting. As I kind of turn, so I'm going to loosen my foot a little bit and rest. And then slowly start to bring yourself up. Okay, and then we're going to swap sides. So gently bring that leg in. That can feel a bit strange from pulling across the tendons on the knee. And then finding a nice wide place. So it's more than 90 degrees if the body allows. As wide apart from knee to foot as you can go. And then having whatever props you need on this side of the extended leg. Taking the hands gently behind the head and then relaxing that left leg as you gently use the weight of your torso to lean over towards the left side. And again, taking your time to feel your way. I always find closing my eyes helps me access more sensation. So just seeing what works for you and then coming to rest in the position. And you know that you arrive in a place, but that's not maybe where you're going to end up. So starting with a sensation that is bearable, that is never sharp or intense, but is definitely not somewhere you normally go. Let's put it that way. And then letting the weight of your head be like a bowling ball dropping down towards your knee and leg. As you begin to feel what is going on here. There's a big muscle called the quadratus lumborum, which attaches to the crest of your hip and your ribs, and it runs vertically. And it can get pretty tight. So I like to just massage it sometimes while I'm here. I know we're supposed to be still in yin, but I'm not moving the part of the body that is being stretched. I'm just encouraging blood flow. That's what I tell myself. And as I said, also the kidneys are just in around the same area, and the adrenal gland, which is responsible for our fight or flight hormones. When we have to move, make quick decisions, rush, when we get stressed, the adrenal gland can get overworked and exhausted. So just maybe taking your attention to that part of the body, just sending waves of fresh, oxygenated breath into that place. And then breathing out all of the tightness like a gray smoke from your body. Cool, silvery breath in, dark gray breath out. And starting to slowly bring yourself up, taking your time because it can be a little intense. And then coming forward slowly, walking your hands, bowing your chin down, and finding that resting place in front. And this may increase the sensation in your inner thigh. That's perfectly normal. And that left buttocks can be off the floor slightly. That's okay too. But just relax the left foot. Slowly starting to bring yourself back up. There we go. And just bringing that knee in. Good, and just making some space for yourself to just move your legs again in these nice windshield wipers, rotating side to side. Okay, so now we're going to come down onto the floor. So having your feet in front of you, knees bent, just start to slowly roll down onto your back. And we're just going to hug the knees into the chest to give the internal organs a nice squeeze, and also just to place the hands on the knees and just massage the back of the body. It should feel really nice. We're going to move into our final pose, which will be a twist. There's lots of options for twists, so I'm going to offer you a couple. So bringing your feet to the ground, pick your hips up and move them away to the back of your mat. Good. And then bringing your knees in, start to lower them towards me onto the ground. Now, if your back shoulder lifts up, then I'd suggest that you bring something underneath your knees to allow them to be a little higher. And then you can keep that back shoulder on the ground. Okay? So this is a good starting place. Those who would like to progress the pose to a different place might wish to extend the front leg out and then bring just the top knee over to the side. That feels a little different. How to know if you're in the right place? If you look up, down your breast, you should see your hip is in line. If you haven't made that adjustment, it might not be straight. And having a straight spine is really good for alignment. Those of you who wish to do another pose, bend the bottom leg, put the top leg over top as if crossing the legs, lift the feet, and then drop the knees over towards me. Twisted roots. And the final option is a pose called cat's tail. I've got the cat's tail. So the bottom leg, you hold the foot and you extend the top leg forward into this position. Okay. So this applies a little more outside stretch onto the top leg and rotates you as you hold your back foot with your hand. This is a little bit of a difficult pose to do for some people, it certainly is for me. So just choosing the one that allows you to feel the twist without any pain and a sense of heaviness in the legs and a lifting into the rib cage that's rising up. So in this case, it will be your left nostril and your left rib that are up. So just noticing the breath coming in through that side of the body. And seeing if you can just gently extend the out breath a little longer than the in breath. So perhaps you breathe in for a count of 3. You exhale for a count of 4 or 5. When we increase our exhalation, we're able to take a more full oxygenated inhale. It brings more oxygen into the capillaries of our lungs, which helps the body to do what it needs to do. We'll just take 3 more breaths. Wherever you are, bring both knees back. Lift yourself back up. And then bring the feet back to the floor. And bring the hips back to the center. Good. And now, when you go to the other side, pick up the hips first and bring them to the front of the mat, the side closest to me. And then doing the same pose you did. So bringing the knees in if you did that, and lowering the legs down onto some support. Really keeping the opposite shoulder resting on the floor. Just doing whatever you did on the other side, on this side. Now I can't do cats got the tail, I got the tail of the cat, because I'm at a wall here. So I'm just going to stay in this position for now. And then feeling where is the easiest place for the breath to flow. Feeling that right rib cage now lifted up. Maybe focusing the breath through the right nostril. This is our active yang side of the body, the right nostril, sympathetic nervous system. So we're just balancing the yin and the yang at the end of our practice today. Feeling the weight of your head and shoulders resting as the breath helps you to just gently rotate and twist the internal organs, the muscles around your spinal column. Last 2 breaths. Start to slowly bring your legs up, crack, crack, crack. And then just bring the feet one at a time back to the floor. Bring the hips back to the center now. Good. And then choosing whatever you need. Often nice to put a bolster below the knees so that the back of the legs can rest on it, or bringing the knees together and having the feet on the floor. And then maybe if you're a creature like me who likes a little extra support, then putting a nice blanket under your head, or maybe even a lovely eye pillow, because the light means the brain stays very active. And when we can take the light away, then the brain will relax and pretend that it might be time for it to sleep. So just taking a moment to take the arms as far away from the body as feels comfortable. Bring a little bit of leg to the back of your neck. See, I'm yawning, my body thinks it's sleep time. If only it was. And then allowing the feet to drop away from each other and feel the kind of heaviness into your hips. And I do like to kind of just rock my legs here. It sends a nice little wave of it's time to relax up and down my legs. Good. And then just lifting the arms and going poof, dropping them down. If you would like to, you can always bring your hands back onto your belly in Yoni mudra or diamond shape and do that. If touching your body brings a more soothing sensation than having your arms extended out. And we'll just be here for 1 minute to soften and surrender ourselves into the supports beneath us. And just noticing the state of your thoughts, the pace of your breath, and the sensations in your body. No judgment, just a curious observation of how it feels to be you in this moment. not trying to create a false sense of anything. Just being with whatever is here, knowing that everything is just as it's meant to be. And then maybe starting to turn the head slowly one way and then the other way, really slowly. I get dizzy if I do that too fast. And then starting to extend the arms, there goes another yawn. I wonder if it lands in your body as well. I know they're often contagious when I'm in class with people. Bring the knees slowly into the chest. Just give them a little massage from side to side. And then rolling onto your side, maybe onto your left side, so that the right nostril is on top, signaling that we're moving from our yin side back to our yang side, right nostril being the yang side of the body, and then slowly bringing yourself back up. So here we are, back where we started half an hour ago. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste, and I hope to see you again back here with me sometime in the future. Please subscribe if you enjoyed it. Share any videos with anyone you think might benefit from them. And if there's any comments or suggestions, please send me a message.